Hello everybody and welcome to this channel, Milestone Study. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video so that I know that I'm doing a great job. Comment anything below and we'll reply to your queries and your concerns. Also remember that you can use our website milestonestudy.com.au to practice all the necessary practice questions and take a mock test as well. For a free trial, please refer to the video that is linked below in the description. For all other class queries as well, you have our number in the description.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Milestone Study YouTube channel. My name is Diksha, one of the PTE instructors over here at Milestone Study. And in this video, we are going to look at a very important question type from the listening section. So as you might have all guessed it, from the listening section, the most important question type is right from dictation. We are going to have a brief look at the important things to remember from the right from dictation section before going on with some practice questions. So let me share my screen. There you go. Okay, so first things first, marks distribution. So right from dictation gives 25 marks to listening as well as 25 marks to writing. Okay, so if you gain 1 point, that's 1 for listening as well as 1 for writing. Okay, so number of questions. How many questions do you get? You'll typically be getting around 3 to 4 questions of this question type. Okay, and what does the question entail? So one question means one sentence, okay? You'll just be given one sentence in the audio, and what you are going to do is you are going to type it out, okay? One question equals to one sentence. And how many marks does one question contain? So the number of marks each question contains depends completely upon the length of the sentence, okay? For example, if you have a sentence with 8 words, then the full marks we will be getting from that question is 8 points, okay? So one word equals to 1 point, okay? And one word, when you write just one word like and the, is, are, this kind of short words, these are also 1 point each, okay? So it's very easy to gain marks if you are able to hear all of the sentence in entirety, but if not, then you are similarly losing out on a lot of marks, okay? So how do we go about writing the sentences then? So let's have a look at it. Basically, whenever you write one sentence, how do you start? The first letter of the sentence is always capital, okay? The, for example, village is beautiful. At the end of the sentence, you'll put a full stop, okay? So this is basically one sentence. Of course, you won't typically be given this short sentences. They usually range from 7 to 8 words to 11, 12, 13 words. It's completely random, guys. It's based on luck as well, how easy or how difficult your sentences might be. So there are 3 things to remember in the right from dictation. The first thing is spelling, okay? So the first thing to keep in mind is a spelling. You are spelling. If you write your sentence, when you're writing your sentence, for one word, if you miss a single S at the end, for example, the audio says students, but you write only student, the content won't match, okay? So a spelling mistake will cost you a lot if you don't know it. All right, spelling mistakes. So make sure to write all of the correct spellings. And if you're not sure whether it's student or students, whether you are going to write a word with singular L or double L, what you can do is write double words, okay? 2 to 3 double words, not 20, of course. You won't have time to write 20 new words. So you can write 2, 3 double words based on your intuition. If you think it's village or villages, you can just add it up, okay? Add a few more words. The order of the sentence doesn't really matter much in the right from dictation, but it does help, okay, in guessing the words, especially with regards to grammar, okay? So whenever you write, think about grammar. For example, if it is the village is beautiful, all right? Since Okay, what's wrong? Beautiful. All right. So if it's one village, then of course you'd be referring it with is, right? But if you think it's villages instead, what would it be? You cannot say the villages is beautiful, right? So you can write one more word. The villages are beautiful indeed. All right. So in this way, you can help yourself with guessing along the spellings, writing double words, and also using grammar rules. Okay, so grammar rules will also help you to guess a little bit. All right, so whenever you write a sentence, so there are usually three methods to be done. I would say two, but three if you're more specific. The first thing is memorizing the word, just like when people close their eyes, listen whatever you're hearing and then type it out. Okay, the first thing, memory method. But I have to say, especially when you get longer sentences, like 10, 12, or 13, it's easy to remember the main keywords, the longer words, but smaller words like and the, is, are, this kind of words are often left out. Okay, so when you follow memory method for longer sentences, you might be missing two to three words by chance. Okay. The next thing what you can follow is initials. So what does initials mean? So taking initials means first letter of each word in the sentence. All right. So if you're hearing the village is beautiful, what you're going to write down? You'll be given a notepad and a pen in the exam, a marker. In home, you can practice using a pen and a paper. So whenever you hear the village is beautiful, what you're going to write is take initials. Okay. The village is beautiful. Later on, you can come back to it, and this will help you in recalling that there are exactly four words, okay? And fill it out. So the initial doesn't really have to be this way. This is just one method that I find it easier. You can write with capitals as well. The village is beautiful. My hands just don't move that fast to write capital letters, okay? Or you can also do the village is beautiful. It's totally up to you as long as you can remember what the initials are. All right. So taking your initials of each letter. But what happens is most people find it difficult to get used to the initials method in the beginning, and they often give up not even halfway through. So you are going to want to practice a lot of it, okay? Taking initials in order to memorize, okay? So one way to practice initials is to start from sentences with fewer words and then increasingly make it difficult till like 8 words, 10 words, and 11 words, okay? I'll show you how to do it in our own Milestone practice website just a little bit later on, all right? So next thing I like to say it half hour, or you can say half an hour. So what you can do here is remember the half of it by initials and half by memory, all right? So oftentimes when there are long sentences, you cannot memorize it all with memory. It's even harder to write initials of all of the words in the long sentence, all right? So what you can do is take half of them as initial and remember the half of it using your memory, or the first half with initials and half with memory. All right. This often helps, combination of this often helps when you are kind of struggling to write all initials or remember all of it with memory. All right. So we've talked it out, 3 to 4 questions. One question is just one sentence. It won't take you much longer. Okay. Keep in mind, you'll only have around 1 minute per question. All right. It's not that anybody will stop you from wasting 5 minutes in one question, but if you do that, you have to attempt 3 to 4 questions, right? You won't have enough time for all of the questions, all right? So be smart. Try not to take more than 1 minute per question, all right? All right, so this was like the quick review of what to do with the right from dictation. Let's have a look at our practice website. We are going for right from dictation. You can find it in the listing section. You can also find it from the PD practice and the questions, or you can also see it in the dashboard, all right? In the listening section, the very last question type is right from dictation. All right, let's have a look at one of them. You can also try to do it along with the audio. Just take a pen and paper, write down your initials or memory, and then afterwards you can write down the full sentence. All right? Okay, let's shuffle.
Participants are initially selected from a range of foundation subjects.
Okay, I think this one was also quite short. Participants. All right, so I've written my initials down here. So it was participants. If you're not sure whether it's singular or plural, add more, okay? We'll add it at the last. So participants are initially selected from a range of foundation subjects. All right. So as a habit, what we are going to do, participants, if I'm not sure, I'll write a participant as well. Okay, so participants, singular form participant, usually comes with article like a and the. With participant, it would be or the, because P is a consonant sound. If I'm writing the participant, then instead of R, it would be is, right? Initially selected from a range. So range is a word that gives sense of having a big range, from 1 to 10 or something, but it's a singular noun, okay? So we are going to write A before it. A range of foundation subjects, not sure, subject, but whenever you say range, the range would be in plural form, all right? So let's remove this. Okay, let's submit it. We've got 15 word count, doesn't really matter since it doesn't have negative marking. All right, 10 by 10. Okay. So it was singular. Participants are initially selected from a range of foundation subjects. Very good. Let's try a few more questions.
You should allocate your time wisely when revising.
Okay, so this one was quite simple. Should allocate time wisely. All right, so this one was quite short one. You should allocate your time. How would you allocate your time? Wisely. While revising. Okay. Wisely while revising. I think that was it. I want to write subjects as well, since I'm kind of hearing an echo of subject. Okay. So while, or it could have been a when. So I'm going to write both of them. All right. Quite a short one with just 10 words. Okay. Finish it. All right, 8 out of 10. So it was when revising, very good. So while when, kind of similar, I wasn't sure, so I put both. So as like this, as shown here, you need to think quickly, okay? Whatever you have guesses, just put it down. Don't think whether it might be true or not. Don't start contemplating whether you want to write it down or not, okay? Write it down as long as you are within the 1 minute period, all right? So what I just want to add here is you should have seen should allocate, right? What is this an example of? Should plus V1, all right? So this is a common structure that you would find in sentences, all right? So whenever you have a subject before, it would usually be accompanied by should plus V1, okay? But whenever there is subject, it might also be common to have should be plus adjective, okay? For example, when you say, you should be responsible, right? Let me elongate this. All right. So for example, say you should be responsible. So responsible here is an adjective, all right? This one is quite common, but when you have something, all right, instead of subject, you have an object. So something that has action being done on them is usually accompanied with should be plus V3. This one is also quite common, all right? For example, if you say actions, actions can't do something to other people, right? So actions would be done to somebody else. For example, actions should be taken. So taken here is verb 3, all right? Responsible here is an adjective, and allocate here is a V1. All right. So do not confuse these three things. All right. And remember, instead of should, you might also have other words like, say, can, could, must, will, basically all sorts of modal verbs. Okay. So this is just a simple way of how modal verbs is used, quite a common structure. Just remember not to forget this while doing right from dictation, okay? It helps you in guessing what words you might have missed because be is also one word, all right? So that will also give you 1 marks if you remember to guess it correctly, okay? Let's try one more question.
Students were instructed to submit their assignments by Friday.
All right. So this is the initial. Check it if it matches. But oftentimes it's fine even if it doesn't match a bit, you know. For example, I have the habit of writing, uh, if you get a word called to, right? TO2, you have to take T as initial, right? But I don't know why, but I always take the O as the initial instead. So having a bit of initial wrong is not really a big blunder. You just need to remember what you wrote down, okay? Students, were instructed. So it was in the past, okay? Students were instructed. If you had written student, it would have been was instructed, okay? Were instructed to submit. Students would submit their assignments, all right? So whenever you have their, usually it's accompanied by plural noun, okay? Their assignments by Friday. Okay, so check if all of your initials match or not. Students were instructed to submit their assignments by Friday. Okay, looks good. Let me remove this part out. All right, so it's a word 8, 9 word count. Okay, so usually you would be getting like 8, 9, 10 word count or even lower, but you might also get 11, 12. Okay, hey, there's no saying that this is the only word count you'll be getting. Okay, let's try another question.
Students are expected to maintain an excellent attendance record.
Okay. All right. So kind of similar, smaller words. There are a lot of smaller words. If you like miswriting your initials, you might leave some out, okay? So students are, okay? If it is a singular student, you would have to say student is, all right? We will add this later on because it would be confusing. So students are expected with is MR, you would usually be getting verb 3 if it's passive voice. Okay, students are expected to maintain excellent attendance record. Okay, now what can we add here? So if it's a singular student, instead of students, I can write a student. Okay, if it's a student, you can write is expected rather than are expected, okay? To maintain an excellent attendance record, if it was plural, then I would have to write records, right? Okay. I think that's it for guessing. All right, let's check it out. 13 words. A few of them are double words, which I've put. No negative marking, no need to worry. Okay. Okay, very good. So the word count was only 9, but there were smaller words like are, to, and, okay, which are often the words which we accidentally leave out. That's why it's better to guess, okay? Put few double words. Let's try a few more questions.
Submission of your group assignment must be actioned punctually by one of your group members.
All right, so this one was quite long. Let me write down the initial. The initial itself is very long. So some your main has to be 5. Okay, so quite long, right? All right, this kind of questions, you might get it in exam as well. Okay, so submission, make sure your spellings are correct. Submission of your group assignment, or maybe assignments, must be actioned. How will it be actioned? Punctually by one of your group member. Okay, or members for that word if you don't know. Okay, submission of your group assignment or maybe assignments. And yes, assignments must be actioned punctually by one of your group members. All right, quite long, 17. Okay, it's because of double word. All right, so it was 15 words long. So quite long, right? You might not get this long question in the exam, so don't be panicked just because there is one long, okay? Usually it's distributed, like some might be 7 to 8 long, some might be 10, 11, 12 word long, okay? Let's try one more question. All right, let's try one more final question then.
The British students need to study mathematics in secondary school.
Students need to study mathematics school. All right, so the British students need to study mathematics in secondary schools. Okay, so this was the word. Okay, to study mathematics, it might be singular as well. So I'll write it down, but usually it's plural mathematics. Okay, in secondary schools, this is a noun. I'm going to put a the before it, just so it is not a mistake. School with plural school as well. Okay, remove the initials. Check your answers. All right, 10 by 10, very good. All right, so just few things to remember, guys. Do not forget to check your spellings. All right, check along your spellings, not spellings, and check your grammars as well. Make sure they are making sense grammatically. And if you're not sure, always write double words, okay? Double words in cases when you have words like singular or plural noun with articles or with verbs, whether you're not sure whether it's produced or producing, verb 3 or verb 4. It's always better to be safe and write more words, okay? All right, so one last thing to remember, especially when writing double words. So if you're not sure whether it's a numerical 10 or word 10 or maybe even 10, this kind of 10, write it all down, okay? Especially with words that come together, words like see, life. You're not sure whether it's written with C space life or C dash life or C life, right? All of it, okay? And also with punctuations, when you are not sure whether it's this kind of it's, or maybe it was even it is, but you didn't hear it clearly. Write all of them, okay? Write double words, okay? Even with like children, children's, or children's uses of punctuation marks, it depends, all right? It depends on how the word is being said. So if you're not sure, write double words, okay? So just keep these kind of few things in mind and you should be able to guess as much as possible, okay? But under 1 minute, okay, guys? And for the last hint, as I said before, so in the Milestone Study website, you have a section called Study Materials that you will be able to see repeat sentence. All right. So what this does is it helps you to practice initials, especially, okay? Especially with word count. So there is a search button on this top right corner. Here you can write, say, if you want to practice from 5 word count, because you are able of writing 5 keywords, start from 5, if not 6, and then gradually increase your difficulty to maybe 11, 12, okay? So you should be able to capture at least, you cannot make more than 1 to 2 mistakes per question if you are to aim for 65 and above, okay? There's a very little margin for error in this question. All right, so let's say if you want to practice with 6 word counts, am I right? 6. Let's hear 1 6 word count.
3 multiplied by 5 is 15.
All right, so time to test out what we've learned. So 3 multiplied by 5 is 15, right? We all know. I just don't know whether it's numerical 3 or 3. So I'm going to write 3 multiplied by, all right, oh, sorry, I put it by mistake. 5. 5 is 15, not sure. Again, I'm going to write it Fi, Fte, and 15. Okay, so when you're not sure whether to write numerical or word-wise, just write both of it, okay? 3 multiplied by is 15. Okay, 6 words. All right, so it was numerical 3. It would be correct, right? So what you can do here is try to write initials from this section, okay? Start from smaller word counts like 5, 6, not 2, 3. That's not really, I think most of you should be able to take at least 5 words. So start from smaller words and then slowly increase your difficulty, okay? Like to 8, 9, 10. You should be especially comfortable with the sentences with word length 8, 9, 10, okay? So in this way, you can practice initials. And I think we've covered a lot from right from dictation, also what hows to do when what sort of situations come, like double words, like with words that come together, like sea life. All right. So practice more, at least I would say 50 a day if you want to get good marks in your listening as well as your writing section in whole. All right. So I think that's all for our right from dictation guide today. I had a very wonderful time sharing my knowledge. And if you guys all liked this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. And you can also ask what kind of videos you want to see me or any of our teachers in later on in the comments below. All right. So let's wrap it up for today. Thank you guys. Bye bye.